Perspective, defined as a point of view or a way of seeing something. Have you ever been in a place where you thought you were walking in the right direction? You thought you saw things clearly, but yet you realized that maybe, just maybe, the direction and your perspective was not what was best? Ever been in a place where you thought your next steps were the best steps, that you thought your direction was clear, and then new data is put on the table that changes everything? See, there's this story in the Gospel of John that involves Jesus. See, Jesus has this amazing way and this amazing ability to step into our circumstances and step into our lives and even step into our mess and reveal that maybe, just maybe, we had the wrong perspective. And he does this in the life of a guy who was born blind. See, I'm sure for this blind man that he couldn't see things very clearly, and he may have thought that maybe there was something somebody else did that caused his blindness, or maybe there was something he was being punished for that caused his blindness. And I'm sure those around this man thought to themselves, look at him, he is less than. We see him from a flawed perspective. We see him as someone who doesn't matter and who is less than. But we're going to see that Jesus was going to change everyone involved in this story's perspective. He was going to change those around him. He was going to change the one who was going through the trial and the difficult perspective. And he was going to do that in a way that none of us could foresee, because we're not him. See, Jesus comes across this blind man and he does something really, really strange. He takes some mud and some saliva, and he makes this mud saliva concoction, and he rubs it on this guy's eyes. Yes, I said that. He took some saliva, he took some mud, and he rubs this on the guy's eyes. And we look at that and think, man, this story is so strange. But in this time, saliva was thought to maybe to have some healing properties. As I was growing up, I think my mom thought the same thing about spit, because she would use spit for all kinds of everyday needs. But anyways, he takes this concoction and we look at it and go, whoa. But here's the crazy thing. If it was a little healing, then it makes sense. And here's the thing we also have to understand is, from Jesus' perspective, he's always added himself into the muck and the mire and the mud and the dust and made something beautiful. And then he invites this man to not only receive a miracle, but take place in the miraculous, because even when he rubs the mud concoction on his eyes, he's still not healed. Jesus goes, hey, I want you to play a part in this. Yes, you're going to receive this healing, but I also want you to go from this point and go do something with it. So he goes to a nearby pool and he washes his eyes, and he is able to see. Now, everyone around him is shocked by this. Why? Because this was the man that was known to be blind. This was the man that was begging all the time. This was the man that was in need of an encounter and a new perspective. And then Jesus does that, and he changes everybody's perspective, because when Jesus enters the room, it's like the light being flipped on and everything is able to be illuminated. And so I look at this story and I go, you know what? I've never been blind, but I tell you this, I have been in need of a change of perspective. And that's exactly what Jesus does. See, he took this altar which he surrendered his life, and he made it a dining table and invited all of us to come and sit and dine with the King. He's taken what we would say is useless and pointless, and he's made it majestic. He's taken all the wrong, he's taken all the broken things, and he has fixed it and turned it into a masterpiece. He has taken someone such as myself, who was far from him, and allowed him to come near to him by being the bridge that I needed. See, he took a Friday that was dark and humbling and ugly, and he used it as something that he could triumph over death. See, in this season, he is taking something like my home, which I thought was just a dwelling place, and he has been able to use it and leverage it as a beacon of hope. May we all embrace this new perspective. May we all see things with a new lens, the lens of Jesus that changes everything.
We surrender, let your glory be the embers, stoke the fire, fan the flame, Holy Spirit, have your way. We surrender, let your glory be the embers, stoke the fire, fan the flame, Holy Spirit, have your way. We surrender, let your glory be the embers, stoke the fire, fan the flame, Holy Spirit, have your way. This is your house, this is your place. Let these walls be filled with praise. Let every story echo your name. Every heart be filled with praise. This is your house, this is your place. Let these walls be filled with praise. Let every story echo your name. Every heart be filled with praise. We surrender, let your glory be the embers, stoke the fire, fan the flame, Holy Spirit, have your way. Oh, this is your house. We surrender, let your glory be the embers, stoke the fire, fan the flame, Holy Spirit, have your way.